Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting the Iron Jaws Mega Boss Orc. I think I've said this before, this is like my favorite model for Age of Sigmar. I bought the spearhead for orcs, so we're going back into orcs. Also apologize for the noise, I got a 3D printer and I'm trying some things out, so hopefully it's not too distracting. But I want to try, I like orcs. I keep going back to orcs. So it's going to be orcs versus my humans for spearhead. But we need to remember what we said our goal was. We have a couple projects going on, but our goal for this year was to use the airbrush more. And it may be useless to be doing this, but I want to do the armor mostly gray on these guys. So we're going to start with this medium sea gray. I have an idea of how to kind of get around some stuff, like kind of like slap choppy but not slap choppy for everything. So doing the gray armor first is the better plan for me because it's going to set the base for everything, and then we can go do the skin tones later and stuff, because I have a color for skin that I really like to use. So just mixing up our gray here. I hope there's water in here. Is there water in here? Okay, good, there's water in there. Sometimes the water evaporates out of my stuff really fast. So we've already got our airbrush loaded up, and we've already gone through our steps of making sure that the airbrush works before the video. So now we have our gray paint, and we're gonna start hitting our boy up here. We want it brightest in the middle of the armor plate, and we can kind of leave it a little darker on the edges. It's kind of using our strategy for painting Gundam models and all that kind of stuff, or painting panel lines. Just kind of work from the middle out. We've talked about this on our Sentinels a little bit. That's just how we're going to keep the armor nice, help it look airbrushed. And even if we're not going to be painting like certain plates gray in the end, it's still probably better to keep them gray right now. We didn't put the necklace on this one. I don't think it looks that good. His face a little bit, because like I said, we're going to fake slap chop this guy together at the end. Might have put a little too much thinner in here. As you can see, it's kind of watery. Kind of lightly pulling back on it, and it seems to give us a better coverage of the paint. I'll just hit the arms a little bit here, the back. It's fine because like I said, we are going to do the skin. I like to use the Plague Bearer Flesh contrast paint, so Just getting those things ready for that contrast paint. It's going to help us. Also do this, just hit the axe. So that's that part. Now for the second part, we want a lighter gray to go onto the armor. So we get another cup, a new cup here. We're gonna get this ghost gray color. You also use a white. I thought I ordered more of this paint. Oops, it's got a whole bunch of it everywhere. This is gonna go onto my model. Let's just sweep some of that up really quick. Then we get our part thinner out. Let's try for a little less thinner this time. Maybe not quite 1-to-1. Give it a mix. This is hard to see if it's mixed because it's almost white on white. This is also going to be mixing with a gray that's in our paint, in our airbrush already, which isn't too bad because it's mostly out, but you just gotta spray until it goes away. So let's just spray here. You can also spray test your hand or like an area on something else that may. Okay, so now we're gonna go for like just little highlights on some of the higher spots of the armor here. Now part of me is worried that this is gonna look too much like my old orcs, which were just white armor. So just trying to be conscious of that while we're, oh, and I think the battery just died in this thing, which would be hilarious. Let me just do this. I know this is gonna look weird for the lighting situation, but I have to plug it into the light for my light really quick just to get this finished. Ooh, it's fighting it. You know what? I thought too, like when I started this, I was like, is this thing dead or is it gonna be okay? Turns out, it's dead. Get there. Well, it wouldn't be a video if something went a little wrong, right? I think we got this arm. Just in case we didn't, let's just do that. Okay. So we'll dump that. And then we'll plug this guy back in. Sorry for the lighting for there for a little bit. But that needs to be put to the side so I can finish and then I'll clean it after. All right, so the armor is all highlighted and everything. Let's move on to the brushwork. So let's get our brush out. All right, so what do we have here is some cloths and skin and some armor pieces still to do. So for the cloth, well, let's start with the skin. Let's get Plague Bearer Flesh contrast paint. This is my favorite paint to use for orc skin. But first what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some white paint down so that we can help the contrast a little bit more by kind of giving some highlights to the more brighter areas on the guy, like the ears. It's kind of edge highlighting a little bit. Along the face and help pick out those details a little bit more. Same thing for the hands. Brush is pretty cooked, but we can do what we can with it. Look at that hand, basically highlighted. You can dry brush this if you wanted to, just to add more variety. Just calling out like the main structure of the hand here. This part, since it's mostly in the light, should be colored. This part not so much because it's like super in the dark there. Same thing here, just pick out muscle groups and do some like rough work on them just to help the green go on it. You can just paint the whole thing white too if you wanted to. That is also fine. For the back here, we're just gonna kind of ghetto dry brush it a little bit. Okay, and that should be good. Wait. It's just like a little bit in here. Okay. So now we're gonna get our Plague Bearer Flesh and take it sure we're getting in there. So I can already see doing this that my plan's not working out super great for this. It's not exactly what I wanted. It is a little bit more splotchy, which, you know, could be fine. go. There's our green down. Now for all of the cloth and stuff, I'm going to use this scarlet. Use a nice bright red for all the cloth. Now there is some cloth that we're not getting, like the pants, like I'm talking like the wraps here and the loincloth. So we're gonna go here for it. I feel like it's gonna be, we're mostly in the warm family of colors here. So we got like some reds and grays and all that. But we will be adding some different colors here and there. Some of these armor panels as well. It's definitely gonna need a couple coats. Here. So I'm gonna grab this one. There's a kitty in here. Back. We're gonna do multiple coats, so it's gonna look a little streaky and sloppy right here. We will fix it. And then we got maybe some here. Meow. Meow. My cat has decided to sing the songs of his people right now. We thought it would be a good use of his camera time. Hi, Bubba! I'm gonna get these wraps. Hi! Hi! What's going on, bud? Uh-huh, yeah, what else happened? Oh, that's cool. Yeah? Just gotta pretend that you're invested in what he's saying. Yeah, what else happened, Bubba? Hope you guys can hear his meows, because otherwise it's like, just here talking like, hey Bubba, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah. Nobody pays attention to you. What? In this whole house? This is when you just, no, you don't eat plastic. Stop eating plastic. He loves eating plastic. Just gonna clean up those areas with that second coat here. Hi! Yeah. Hi. Your mama's coming home. Yeah, she had to go to work. You're like, it's Saturday. No one goes to work on a Saturday. Well, sometimes they do. Okay, there's our red. Hey, Bubba. Okay, I think I'm gonna throw these brushes away when we're done with this. I'm gonna kind of set them off to the side over here so that I stop using them because they're gonna make problems. I have 2 more. Don't know the states that they're in, but it's hopefully better. Oh yeah, it's pretty better. Okay, so now the second color, oh God. I wanna do like a little bit of this bright orange in some areas. I think it's cool. I think it's a nice color. I just want to put it on a little bit of spots just to add more. Hi, dude. What do you want, Bubby? So I think we're gonna go. I think I want to leave some of these black, so I think I'm going to do these wraps with the bright orange. Yeah? He's got his nice Nerf bat here. Uh-oh. Hi! 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 Oh, he says, I demand pets right this second. Pet me! Pet me! Pet me! Let's do that and make sure we get this side there. Okay. Now we're going to work in some leather brown for the woods on his axe and stuff. So we're just going to go through here. Nice wood color on it. I know for our other characters we were going kind of like grim dark and stuff, but I think we can still do the same thing with bright colors and maybe bring them down with a black wash at the end. So with this guy, so that's what we're gonna try to maybe see that we can pull off or not. Let's get some of these browns painted on here. Now let's get this German camo beige, World War II. That's what I use for bones mostly. Don't you come over here. I see you. I see you're thinking. Start getting this. Laid over the top of this guy here. painting this all over here. Looks like I missed the back end here of this shoulder pad. It's fine though. We're hoping we're gonna do like a big unifying wash at the end here and hope that it, you know, settles into some areas and makes it pretty cool. Try some pretty cool effects and stuff. Now for the, we use rattling grime on the axe to grime up. Make it look like a dark, hammered metal kind of situation. So that's grunged that up a lot. Then we're going to go into our metallics with this gunmetal color. And get those bits. And then any of the chainmail we want to go over as well. Okay, and then we're gonna take some Ghost Gray again. We're just gonna kind of dry brush it over the skeleton on the arm here. Just to add more variation to the bone. And then now, we're gonna try for that unifying wash and just get this whole thing well, hold on. Let's take some of the Ghost Gray again. Just do some edge highlighting. It's really light, doesn't have to be crazy. But just getting some of those areas. Just giving them some more pop. So like the teeth here. Maybe some on here. Can even add kind of like little scratches to the armor like this, just like little nicks and scratches to him, like because he's been in battle. Even add it to the black pieces here. edges here. And now we're gonna, sorry about that. And now we're gonna darken it down with some Nuln Oil all over. So like, you know, in this part, like if you're comfortable using them, this is where people would use oil washes and all that kind of stuff. I haven't used those, so I don't use them. So we're just using regular old, this stuff. It's not as toxic and all that kind of just stuff. So just take it and bring it down the whole model. We're hitting the whole thing, minus the axe and the skin probably. Just not really being selective here, just putting it on. And what this should do is, one, it's going to grunge up the whole thing, which is what we want. And two, it's going to put it more in universe with the rest of our guys, which is another thing that we want to do. So put it on, and then you can wipe it off too as you're going. Like if you see it pooling too much in areas, just wipe your brush off, then dab those areas back, just to prevent any weird pooling. So there's that. We can clean off our brush now and just kind of go over it, just to save some of that stuff, you know? Just like the big flat areas, you want to get it off of as much as possible. You want to leave it in those recesses. Then we can get back to our gunmetal color here. And then we're gonna dry brush it over the axe here, just the head of the axe, just to make it look like a beaten and battered blade. Give it that shine. We'll do the same thing with the color here. We'll just put it. Can't really see it. So yeah, so that is pretty grunged up. And that is going to be how we're going to paint our orcs for the spearhead. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.